What's up guys, this is Ethan and Todd here with Grilla. We are going to unbox and walk you through the assembly of the Silverbac XL all-terrain.
So the first step for the Silverbac AT cart is to assemble the cart base. Just as a note, the front is going to be this part that has these cutouts. The rear is going to be the portion that does not have these cutouts. So front, rear. So start by turning it upside down, and you're going to take your two rear wheel brackets and you're going to place them on the back, align them with the holes. So you're going to take four M8 screws from bag number 20 and four M8 serrated locking nuts from bag 21. The screws will go in from the bottom and then you'll thread on a lock nut to each one. Next step after the rear wheel brackets are the front wheel knuckles for your steering assembly. You're going to place one here and one here. You're going to use all four bolts from bag 35. They're 8mm by 40mm bolts, and four locking nuts from bag 21. The next step is the steering bracket assembly. You have a large nylon washer that will go on top of the steering bracket, and that goes over the center of the hole in the center of the cart here. You'll use hardware from bags 28, 29, and 30. This large bolt will come up through the bottom, followed by a washer, and then a lock nut. When you tighten this bolt on the steering assembly here, make sure not to over tighten it. You want it to move freely, but not too hard. Otherwise, it's gonna make the steering assembly hard to move when you pull the cart. All right, the next step after we've got this steering mechanism in place is we're going to assemble all the wheels. We're gonna start with the rear wheels, bags 25 through 34, and bags 9 and 8 on the spindles. It's important to note that when we're assembling the spindle onto the knuckle that we have the correct right and left side. The correct orientation is when you have the spindle on the knuckle and the steering bar here is facing up. So this is the correct orientation. Now that we have all the wheels and the steering assembly on, we're gonna flip the cart over, and we're gonna start with the brackets that build the frame for the cart. The 2-hole side always faces front and rear. The 3-hole side always faces the side of the cart. And only finger tight the screws. Do not tighten the screws fully until we have the entire cart frame assembled, at which time we'll go back in and tighten all the screws. On the grill brackets that mount the grill to the cart, you're always gonna have the small tab and the smaller hole facing the top. You'll go ahead and take your side handle. You have 4 screws and 4 washers. You'll put a washer over the screw, fish it through the center hole, and thread it into the threads on the handle. And then you'll repeat the same for the other side. Go ahead and tighten them up, not fully tight, just snug. Do the same for the other side handle as well. And once you have the handle screws in, you can go ahead and tighten all of the screws, with exception to the grill tab screws for mounting. Leave those 4 screws loose. Next, we're gonna install the AT cart brake. This is a new feature that we added from our old AT carts. So this is your cart brake assembly. You wanna make sure to move it to the disengaged position. So this is engaged, disengaged. So once you have the screws installed on the brake assembly, don't fully tighten them yet. Fully engage the brake, and you'll see that it moved the brake assembly rearward. Disengage it, and then slide the brake assembly about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch back towards the wheel, and that will be the position you want to tighten the brake in. We're going to assemble the tie rods for the steering. Go ahead and place the steering rods like shown with a plastic washer here. Add 1 nylon lock nut there, and then on the other end for the spindle, you'll place 1 8mm bolt, plastic washer through the tie rod, then another plastic washer, and then through the spindle. And then you'll add the nylon locking nut here, and then you'll tighten those, not completely tight, just enough so that the lock nut is completely engaged, but not tight enough to where it's binding your steering.
All right, and the last step of the XL AT cart is just to assemble your handle. So slide your pin through and then go ahead and put your pin through to lock it into position.
Next step, we're going to lift the grill top. Do this with a helper always onto the AT cart. Make sure the brake is engaged so the cart stays stationary. It doesn't roll away on you. And you'll line up the holes on the side and screw those in. And then once you have those tight, you can go ahead and tighten these 2 screws on the cart that hold the brackets on. Now that we got the grill top on, we're gonna go ahead and attach the smokestack. Make sure the gasket's present, line up the 3 holes. So once you've got the smokestack on, we're gonna go ahead and assemble the front drip lip that goes on the inside of the lid. You're gonna take 1 long screw and it's going to go through the drip lip, and then the spacer goes on the back side. Now we're gonna install the hopper lid onto the hopper. So it goes on with the hinges facing the rear. And you're gonna take 2 5mm screws and install them into the hinges. In addition to the hopper hinges, you're gonna install a cord wrap. Cord wrap's gonna go here. And then we have this part here. This is the hanger in case you have a Grilla power bank. It's gonna go on the bottom. It'll let you hang the power bank in case you're grilling where you don't have access to electricity. All right guys, now that we've got the accessories bolted onto the hopper, we're gonna go ahead and install the hopper into the grill body. Make sure you hold your RTD cable out of the way so you don't pinch it. And slide the hopper in through the side. And then just before you finish sliding it all the way in, you're going to connect your RTD sensor to your controller. With the hopper being held in place, you're gonna come on the inside of the grill. You're gonna take this component here. This is your drip tray support. It's going to install inside through the cabinet and into the hopper. Next, we'll install the heat deflector and then slide it forward to lock it in place. Now that we've got the heat deflector inside, we're gonna install the grease trough. You're gonna need 1 small letter D screw. So once the grease trough is installed, we'll install the drip tray. Make sure that this notch is on the left side, that this flange is facing downward, and this notch will lock into the drip tray panel on the left side. So one of the new features on the Silverback 2.0 XL is the primary grate. We've added the functionality to slide the grate in and out and lock in place so that your food doesn't fall. The grate stays level. If you need to clean ash or tend to your drip tray, you can set the grate up like this, and then you can work on the stuff inside without setting that dirty grate on the ground and getting grease all over your deck or your patio floor. Secondary and warming grates work like your oven at home, similar to our Mammoth smoker. They slide in, and then again, if you want to work on food, bring it out and it'll stop, and you know your food's not going to collapse the grate and fall on the ground.
Same design for this top one. It's kind of your warming tray. All right guys, and that wraps it up for the assembly of the Silverback XL on the all-terrain cart. So I hope you guys like it. It's not really common that a grill of this size is truly mobile. It's very easy to pull around. You're not gonna get flat tires with these. And it's good for taking it to the barbecue competition or even just moving it around your backyard or from the driveway to the patio. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. We'll have a lot more content coming out about this. We've done some really cool cooks on this and we'll show you guys soon. If you have any questions, reach out to customer service, and the rest of the product information will be on our website at grillagrills.com. We're gonna go ahead and go get it seasoned up and probably throw about 12 pork butts on this thing.